What up, people? We're your after hours investors. My name's Michael,
My name is Chris.
and let's jump the fuck into it. Google made a big fuck up with their AI reveal. Looks like this bot gave a wrong fucking answer, and I'm gonna be honest, I can't tell you what this answer is. I didn't really give a shit. What I saw was their shares dumped, and if we think about Google, they are leading. They own about 90% of the entire market share of the internet search. I mean, I assume that you found my video through Google. We're on youtube.com, owned by Google. They literally run it, and every search you make is getting fed into an AI. So they are leagues and leagues ahead of whatever ChatGPT got. And if ChatGPT is this impressive, I am more than confident that Bard is probably going to take over the world and be the syndicate or the singularity. What really is nice to see here is if we take a look at our charts, Google is now, sorry, my bad with the little whack ass transition. If we go to Google, I've added it to our powerhouses. This is actually, I think, a brilliant entry point for what's going to be maybe just a new takeover. Google is just a masterclass in just owning everything. And, the last monopoly that got busted in the United States was in the fucking 80s, okay? So this isn't going to stop anytime soon. Our government doesn't give a shit. And, if they're going to, have monopolies and take advantage of us, if we're smarter, we might as well take advantage of that too. So I think this is a great entry point to jump into Google. They're going to be doing some great shit. They've had this AI technology on the back burner for so long. They just rushed out this rollout, but I am more than confident that now that they fucked up, they're on more pressure to deliver a good product. And, when it comes to Google, they've just got just hella intelligent heads behind, whatever the hell they're doing. And I'm more than confident that they can deliver it. This next rollout, I remember seeing Google, I think it was 2 years ago, could call and make a reservation for you. And they had that shit saying like, and sounding like a human being and fooling people at restaurants. So, don't let this, fake news of this Bard, they fucked up the rollout, but I think this is a brilliant time to jump in. Fucking amazing. Chris, you were right about Nordstrom, but it was pretty obvious, but I still want to hear about it. Can we talk about this
Yeah,
giant
it
gap here?
seems like ever since Ryan Cohen stepped in and bought a stake in Nordstrom, we've just gone downside ever since. Because we did have a gap in the previous trading days. It was a pretty large, sizable gap. So I was under the assumption that if we are gonna sell off, and we have had a losing momentum on these meme stocks recently, and we have seen today that we are almost about to fill that gap to the downside. I do still think that if we do completely fill this gap, it will touch the 200 MA, possibly bounce off that 200 MA or break. Um, as I've stated videos ago, that this was going to be a put play because I do think meme stocks are somewhat of a opportunity to either play long or play short, and this one seems like it paid off. GME, Lucid, and BBY, AMC, all meme stocks are basically down today because of the flow of the market. We basically traded flat today. We did see some green on the SPY today, and in terms of the SPY today, it seems like we are going to try and hold support here. I think my worst case scenario on SPY is next week if we do open up red. I think we need to hold that support of 400, and if we don't, Michael, if you could put a line of support at 400 for the SPY.
I would
um,
love to. I'm gonna draw. I'll bring this line up. Actually, I think I got a line right here at 400. It's 403 cents though.
Yeah. Around 400. If we can hold that, I do believe this bull trend is still intact. That is all dependent on that 400 trend line. If we break that 400 trend line, I'd say around 399 or 398, I will be convinced that we are going to see more downside. It all depends on that 400 trend line. If we break that, I do see more downside. If we hold it and bounce off that 400 trend line, I do see us going to possibly filling that gap and seeing more gains. As far as for next week we do have CPI. Michael, if you want to pull that up right now, we have CPI on Tuesday, and it seems like they're gonna forecast a pretty conservative forecast of 6.2. Um, in terms of their last forecast of a point 0.5 decrease, this seems more of a reasonable forecast. I do believe we are going to touch that forecast of 6.2, maybe even go below, and that would give more room for the bullish upside. As again I have stated in the last video that there is a $16.8 million bet on the strike of 418 for the call expiring this February 17th. It just basically means that they think that we are going to hit 418. Now, this whale did lose a lot of money today, but I think that bet is still a viable bet. We are, if we do open up red on Monday, I will be buying calls. I will be holding out for the week because I do think the CPI data is going to come out bullish, and we are going to possibly go and attempt to fill that gap for the third time. Michael, do you want to cover anything?
Oh, absolutely. We want to talk about ExxonMobil. Like I said, gas is a kind of a commodity that, is going to be needed regardless of what it's priced at. Really, the barrier to entry on gas is, if you can't afford it, you're going to be buying it. People need to get around. We don't got horses, that accessible anymore. So ExxonMobil, I think, still a great stock to invest in. As you can see, they had some correction this week. They were falling down, but back up, recovered, and I don't see this slowing down anytime soon, especially, Russia doing their Russia thing. So looking at China, China's a
You
little
gotta
bit
take your
stagnant. They
horse to
had
the
a lot
Old
of
Town Road, basically, right?
for real, man. The shit's not it's not viable, man.
Yeah.
So get your money, bro. And then you know what? And then you could get yourself a horse, and then you could save money on gas and also make money on fucking ExxonMobil. So this is some big brain shit we're offering you guys today. And yeah, China a little bit stagnant, but still, they opened up their economy. Their COVID restrictions are gone. So I honestly see the moon
I
here, and that's
yeah.
probably what they
I'd like to
think too.
note that everyone is really quiet on China. I think China's right now being slept on. I do see China either possibly consolidating here, maybe going down to that 200 MA, but I do think it's gonna hit new highs this year. As far as for the China stocks like Alibaba, I think that's a really good buy. Other stocks like GOTU is a pretty good stock to buy in. The all China stocks right now are really undervalued. So you're still early, you can still make some money, and I think they're a really good long-term hold. Um,
Yeah,
sorry,
if you're
go
looking
ahead,
for these
Michael.
low risk plays, man, take a leap with China. Like we're seeing here. I mean, all the evidence is pointing really well. And like a lot of the shit that we get here comes from China. So the fact that they're opening up their economy again, that can only mean waves for us to ride on. So we should take advantage of that. Pacific Gas and Electric, same deal with ExxonMobil, not to the same degree. ExxonMobil, pretty sure they got broken up as a trust and then they merged back together and became a monopoly again, if I'm not mistaken. So honestly, these guys are just powerful. Standard Lithium is another one. Chris and I were talking. Lithium is the future. We really see it, and it's not a renewable resource. It's very limited. And we're thinking. I think they're predicting in 2024 we're going to be starting to run low on lithium. So I think that we're starting to gonna see companies that sell lithium. It's going to be way more valuable. They're going to be making way more money. So we're going to see their stock going up. The reason we pick Standard Lithium is just because it's a really cheap, they don't really own much of the market share. So it's a little bit risky. But how I see it is, if lithium picks up, becomes more valuable, even if they're not doing so hot, I feel like they're going to get eaten up by a bigger, lithium company. and then you'll see their stock shoot up. So honestly, I feel like this is a pretty low risk stock to jump into. I mean, at only $4 a share, couldn't hurt to toss like $20 in there. I really couldn't see it, and I'm planning on doing it myself once I get these spy calls bussing this next week. And finally, with cryptocurrency, we're seeing some tough times, but we did see this amazing green month here, so it's not a surprise that we're consolidating a little bit. If anything, this is a great thing to see because the higher that tower goes, the harder it's going to fall. So when we see some consolidation like this, it gives us at least some stability, and we can rest a little bit and maybe rest a little bit easier knowing that there's potential for another tower to be built right here. So I think crypto is something still to look out for. Ethereum Classic, for some reason, got a little bit of a green day regardless. You kind of see this. It usually runs with Ethereum like 90-80% of the time. I'm curious why this happened. And probably like some single investors just, they can see the movements. If Ethereum goes up, Ethereum Classic goes up like twice, 3 times as much. So I'm not too surprised there. Shiba Inu as well, making some moves. Really not sure here, but like I said before, I genuinely think Shiba Inu is a great long-term investment. It had the hype. Everyone's still eyeing it, and everyone wants to get rich really fucking fast. So any day now, Shiba Inu could start blowing up, and everyone's gonna hop on the bandwagon. It's just kind of how people are. No hate on human nature, but the stock market, cryptocurrency, it's all based on people's perception. So you do want to play to the people's strengths and to the people's weaknesses, man. We're trying to make some money here, but I'm not saying run any scams. Just be smart and recognize that people are sometimes, if they're a little bit weaker at trading, they do like to jump on some easy targets. And that's why here at After Hours Investors, we're trying to give you the tools so that you can become a stronger trader, so you don't fall into those easy traps, but you can recognize them and make yourself some money. That's all I got. Chris, you got any concluding thoughts, my friend?
Yeah, Fed Harker has mentioned that a debt ceiling crisis would have disastrous consequences. I also think so too. Though I don't think we are there yet. They might just raise the debt ceiling and postpone it like they always do.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
they have to, right? Or else it's just like bad.
yeah, or else we'd have to just default, which I don't think is in the cards as of now.
It,
Um,
we've had
I
too many red years, so
Yeah, I do think with these interest rates, it is gonna slow down the economy, but we are, I mean, growing. Stocks are going up, and that's what I like to see. To see.
well, thank you guys for tuning in. If you liked what you see, there is a button for that. And if you hated what you see, there's a little place you can write down all your thoughts. And it would be lovely to hear because, we're limited to our own perceptions. We're trapped in our own bodies. I can only see out my own eyes and think out my own brain. So you might see something I don't see. You might think something I don't think. And it'd be great if you could share that with us. Maybe we can come to something and maybe figure out something that benefits the both of us, something we both didn't see. That arises from, discussion. Socrates knew what was up. Anyway, thank you, people. You guys have a wonderful day.
Thanks, guys.